Well, hello, good evening. It is the 29th of November, and I did miss 2 days of doing a video, but that's because um, Saturday night, the 27th, was my birthday meal with my parents and my partner. We went to Pizza Express, where it's the only place that is socially acceptable to eat pizza with a knife and fork. Or my kind of socially acceptable place. If you eat pizza with a knife and fork normally, then that's absolutely fine. It's just, to me, a little strange if you don't do it in Pizza Express. Anyway, tonight we will talk about food because I've had an interesting thing with food over my life, and like when I was growing up, I I physically couldn't eat vegetables at all, apart from raw carrots. Potatoes don't count as vegetables because you can boil them, roast them, mash them. You can turn them into chips. You can turn them into crisps. Loads of different things with potato, but things like cooked vegetables or raw vegetables, I could only physically eat raw carrot, and that went on for a while, until my parents discovered that I could have vegetable soup as long as it was liquidized, and that's a good way to get me to eat vegetables without me having to deal with the texture, because I discovered that I love the flavour of basically all the vegetables, and that was with my parents just making soup. And I was wondering why I had this bowl of slop, which to me was just a bowl of slop that tasted nice. And for my parents, it had loads of different colours and different colours and different cubey shapes and sizes, and so I asked my parents to let me watch them cook it, and so I was able to watch them cook the soup, and I found out that they were putting vegetables in my soup, and that's how I basically started coming out of my I don't eat that kind of stuff, which was really good because I found that I could have cooked vegetables, and when I'd like to say that I was 10, but my parents would probably say that I was a bit older. I started having things like casseroles with the vegetables still in, but I would just chop them up really small and mix them with the mash, that my dad made, and with any rice type things, I would chop up all of the vegetables and mix the rice up with the sauce and the vegetables, and that way I could disguise the texture and mix all the flavours together. But that also made me like mixing up my foods, like my main foods, that is. The desserts are another thing altogether. But my mains, I would mix them up into a kind of mush. Like any kind of like chicken sweet and sour, or korma, or tikka masala, I would, or even casserole, I would separate the meat from the sauce and the rice or potatoes. I would mix everything else up. So I'd mix up the rice and the sauce and the chopped up vegetables, or the potatoes and the sauce as well. If they were boiled potatoes, I had to mash them myself on my plate, which also meant that I took ages to eat any kind of meal. And with shepherd's pie or cottage pie, I don't really know what the difference between them is. I would basically mix it up so well that it just looked like a cow pancake. That's what my parents described it as. But to me, it's just a pile of mush that tasted nice. And like all of that progressed up to the point where I wanted to have other kinds of food. So like my parents still make something called chicken and broccoli, which is like a general chicken curry type sauce with broccoli in it and lots of cheese. Absolutely wonderful. And when I was younger, my dad used to have to take the chicken out of the sauce, scrape all the sauce off, and then give me chicken and rice. And so as I got a bit older and a bit more mature, this is during my teenage years as well, I would ask for a bit of sauce without the broccoli. Then I would ask for the broccoli chopped up, and eventually my parents just said, chop it up yourself. So I do chop up all of the vegetables that I get given in meals. It's a bit more difficult with meals out though. Yeah, still quite haven't figured that out. But with my own cooking, I kind of just do. Sorry. With my own cooking, I kind of just do, like with beef mince or any kind of minced up meat, I just do a general bolognese sauce type thing, with lots of tomato type stuff in it, like a tin of chopped tomatoes, tomato puree, and I have a stock cube as well for it. And I now include like 2 or 3 good handfuls of frozen vegetables, just so I get some intake of that. And it's even better when I try to do my own version of a chili con carne. And it's nowhere near as hot as other people have it, but it's to a point where it's just edging on my level of spice, which is quite comfortable for me. And it tastes really nice because I have my generalized spaghetti bolognese sauce, and I just add in half a tin of baked beans. Done. Because it's got the vegetables, it's got the meat, it's got the tomatoey sauce with the spices, and it's got beans in it as well. Simple. And I've only talked about food today because I've had to do a big batch cook for tikka masala that I'm going to be having for lunch in the next couple of weeks. So, yay! My freezer will be filled with chicken tikka masala. Yay. Anyway, I should go to bed. It is quite late and I'm tired, so night night.